Whoa, be more for real. Be more for real, 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 for real. Another Wednesday, another Wednesday. What's up with you, Uncle Wayne? How you feeling? Man, that's what's up, man. Be more for real. We're gonna go ahead and clap it up. It's Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night. Your mic kind of hold on.
Thanks for joining us. I am Uncle Wayne. Thanks for joining us at BMore4Real. It's a Wednesday night. We have a little technical difficulties. You all. We're going to get it straight tonight. You know we are, but I am Uncle Wayne. Thanks for joining us here at BMore4Real. It's another Wednesday night, y'all. We're going to jump into it, but we're going to get these mics right tonight, y'all. So listen, Danny, let me tell you, my week was horrible. You know, I usually say my week was peaceful and it was there, but I'm gonna tell you, I had one of those weeks where my peace was broken. Now, you know, I told you I got my lovely puppies, so I kind of got rid of them. But Christmas time, my puppies are going to be. Thank you. I told you we're gonna get these mics right. So Christmas time, puppies are going to be available, and we're gonna make sure these peaceful houses where we're gonna have a lovely time. Because I want to come up here every Wednesday, and I want to do my thing where there is no issues.
Right.
I prefer that on a Wednesday.
Right.
Because I don't want no more horrible weeks, y'all. So I want Be More For Real, where Uncle Wayne says
it should be a good week.
No complaining week. I like it better that way. You know what I mean? So in turn, how was your week, man? How was your week?
Week is troubling. Week is struggling. You know what I'm saying? And to be real, you know, it's is quite challenging to go through everything that you go through in a day-to-day life, and for people to not know what it is that you may or may not go through.
And we got the mics right.
And yeah,
thank you, Wayne.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Just to know what people go through on a weekly basis and stuff like that. You never know. On a daily basis,
hour basis,
right? Every day, you never know. But I'm definitely thankful to be above ground. You know, I'm thankful to still be in a position where I am. You know what I'm saying? Some people just didn't wake up today, and I know there's some people that probably wish they had another day here.
Or in the hospital fighting for their lives right about now.
Yep. But it's Be More For Real. Keep it locked with us each and every single Wednesday.
We are here.
Rated R for reality.
Are you ready to be
brought to you by way of Real Explosions?
We're going to teach you something tonight.
Yeah.
Welcome to be here. Thanks for joining us for another week. It's a Wednesday night for Be More For Real. I am Uncle Wayne.
I'm OMG Danny, and y'all know what time it is. We got some videos for y'all, man. We got some things, of course, that we have to bring to light as well. It gets crazy because we have to bring this stuff to light, and we're gonna be able to share videos. So keep it locked with us. We got videos and all of that other stuff. But also want to Be More For Real moment. I wanted to talk about the Ravens just for a brief second.
Sure, we meet again. We
Yeah,
left off last Wednesday talking about the Ravens. You know when I said, and you know my scenario when I talked about the Ravens. Remember how I told you scenarios. Now they play who?
the Ravens played the Steelers.
Right.
But yeah,
And you remember when
we
I
already
told
talked
you.
about it on the last show,
Right.
and they play kind of
Let's
bad.
talk.
You know what I'm saying?
They play what?
They play kind of bad, but
Kind of what?
kind of bad
That's
on
the only way.
offense. What I should say on offense though, because the defense did not allow a touchdown. Ironically, it was like
Didn't allow. See his words, his choice of words this week. I love it though.
I mean,
Didn't allow.
ironically though, they didn't allow a touchdown, but still lost the game. Um, however you want to slice it, but they lost the game,
We're gonna slice it straight down the middle.
and I think that we should talk about it because
We have to do.
Derrick
See,
Henry,
like I said,
what he got
let's
like
break it up a little bit.
He had like 0 touches in the fourth quarter and stuff like that, and he only had 13 touches for the whole game. And it's like, why did you bring him in? Some games you use them for 13, some games you only use them for you use them for 25, 29, 30 carries, and it's like, I just don't understand that.
I said,
I think
I
the Ravens
try
should
not
do
to
better.
get into it right. That's why I said till we meet again and we talk about. But you see my co-host Dan, you see when we win, you see he got so much to say. When we lose, you see how short-winded he is.
No, I said plenty.
Look, he said plenty.
I said plenty. I said plenty. Seriously. I mean, I think like I was saying, I think when Derrick Henry gets when he gets 0 touches in the fourth quarter, it's a problem. I think they continue on doing the same thing that they have um, repeatedly been doing. For instance, we've been the number one rushing offense without Derrick Henry for the last several years. But when we got to the AFC Championship last year, we only had 6 carries to the running back. Fast forward to this game against the Steelers, when it comes to games that actually matter, then you only use him sparingly, and I just don't get it. Especially on the 2 point conversion, it's only 2 yards uh, to tie the game up and go to overtime. I don't understand it. It's not smart football. I don't know
And isn't it
what else to say.
strange when Ravens meet up with Steelers, we always happen to be this way? Why is it?
I think it is a mental thing because when you look at it, it's nothing that the Steelers do particularly great. It's just they get inside the heads of the Ravens, and I see exactly what it was. Because for a while, Lamar Jackson, he was like 10 for 20 or whatever the case may be, after him being so accurate the entire season. So I was just like, it's just one of those games where um, well, not one of those games, one of those teams, because the Ravens don't play the Chiefs well, and we don't play the Steelers well. For whatever reason, we be up for every game, and we're supposed to be up for the Steelers game. This is not the traditional Ravens. Normally,
That's why I say, I try to figure it out the games, like in each game that they play, nothing is similar.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. It's like you can't.
And they got too fancy. I'm like, what's been sticking? And see, that's the problem too. I think that's the problem when it's time for us to really play the game the way, when the game is on the line and you playing like top tier teams or whatever, one of these playoff type games, or rival teams like the Steelers who've had our number. The Ravens, for some reason, get out of our game plan. Like, we've been a running team. Derrick Henry lead the team in rushing yards per average, rushing touchdowns, and all this other stuff. Number
But
one,
you sound like a serious coach.
I'm like, why, when it comes down time to it, then they stray away from the game plan? It's just a psyche. It's not that the Steelers beat the Ravens, and it's never like that. It's not like the Kansas City beat the Ravens. It's never like that. It's always like the Ravens shoot themselves in the foot, and we constantly do that. Like, we are not a smart team. And I heard somebody else say that, but it is like the Ravens are not a smart team.
I still say it's like this. They make too much money to lose. I still look at their pay period, their paycheck. They make too much money to lose. Do you understand what I'm saying? The amount of money that make and the money that they make and the physical shape that they are in. Do you understand?
Right.
You better get that ass up.
But the Ravens gonna get it together, and I'm pretty sure they will.
Till we meet again.
I'm pretty sure the Ravens will, but
Who they
I
play
still
next? Who they play next?
they play the Chargers on Monday night. The Ravens play the Chargers
Okay.
on Monday night in Los Angeles. So that's gonna be another game where John Harbaugh is actually playing his brother Jim Harbaugh, and we have a lot of former Baltimore Ravens players like J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. They are playing for Los Angeles now, and we get to see them guys again too, just like we did last week with Patrick Queen and Deshaun
All
Elliott
right.
and
That
some of
was
the
like I said. Some
old
things are
Ravens players.
interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
till we meet again,
Be more for real.
y'all.
Be more
Ravens,
for real, man. Realest
Lamar.
conversation on the net.
Yes, indeed.
Be more for real. Realest conversation on the net. Rated R for reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rated R for reality. Come get your weekly dose of reality.
This is Be More for Real, y'all. We get into everything Be More, and it's for real. We do this before you get angry. We do this before you're behind bars. We do this before other things happen. That's why we say join us. Just because you don't agree with us, you could disagree, but that's what it's all about. Let's have this conversation together. Remember, I am Uncle Wayne.
and I'm on G Danny. So let me ask you this, Uncle Wayne. Is it time to cancel Christmas? And I know a lot of people see all this. I
Say it
actually,
again.
is it time to cancel Christmas? That's the actual question, and we're gonna have to really look into things because this is Be More for Real.
Be More for Real, y'all.
We're gonna have to bring it to y'all as soon as we get in, and as soon as we receive a lot of the stuff that we on. Although it's a lot of news, we gotta bring you all the news from everywhere because we be more for real about each and every single thing. So keep it locked with us.
But what do
make
you
sure you hit
mean?
that like, say, and subscribe as well. But
Subscribe, y'all. Definitely, definitely. But what do you mean cancel Christmas?
is it time to cancel Christmas? And we're gonna swing this a couple different ways. But uh, President Biden, on his way out, he had just declared that the United States can use their long range missiles for the Ukraine. And what a lot of people fearing is that this is the beginning of the world war that's starting with the real actual war because it's been like a proxy war or a cold war, so to say, between the United States and Russia, between the Ukraine. But is it time to cancel Christmas and the fact that it might be time to really stock up and save up because we haven't been used to war. We don't know what time that is, so it might be that time to cancel Christmas and really prepare for what's
Wow.
about to
Deep,
happen.
y'all. Instead of spending all that money on all those toys and unnecessary things we don't need and weighing them credit cards out and all that extra hours of work that we are doing and arguing and fussing and doing all this unnecessary stuff to put these things that we don't need. We should be preparing for war.
Should we be preparing for war? And this is the topic of the night. Oh, we forgot. Brought to you by way of Real Explosion. This is Be More
Think
for
about
Real.
it.
Rated
Think
R for
about it.
reality. Is it time to cancel Christmas? And we're gonna get into it because see,
Is it?
this program is made to deprogram you to what you have been programmed to. A lot of times, we are so caught up in entertainment and things of that nature that we don't actually get into what's actually going on around us. And what I found fascinating, what I find fascinating too, is that a lot of people claim to be woke, what it means to be quote unquote woke.
Woke.
But like I keep saying, and people don't say this like that, but to be woke means to be aware of what's going on around you. That's what it means to be conscious. When people say they're conscious and all that stuff, it has nothing to do with your horoscope, your rising, your moons, fallings, and all of that other stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It has consciousness has everything to do with being aware of what's going on around you. Because if you were dead to what was going on around you, when somebody nudge you, when something goes on, you would not respond. There would be no response from you because you are not aware or awakened to this side. And so I said that to say this. It might be time to cancel Christmas. And it's very important. We was talking about the gender war and all this stuff. This is why it's very important because when the time comes down to it and it's come down time for war, we're gonna have to get along. Something's going to give on this side. That's another spectrum.
Ooh,
That's
deep.
another spectrum of it as well.
Let me paint you a picture. Christmas Day, you think it's Christmas, and you hear that siren. Remember that 1 o'clock siren? They says an emergency. But that's this time. It's not 1 o'clock, and it goes off, and it's a war for real. And let me explain something to you all what a war is. If it's a war, it is no more shopping. It is no more going to the corner stores, Walmart, ordering stuff, driving your car. It is over for living a regular life. And if you never got along with the people in your neighborhood, you are messed up. Do you understand what a war is? We are so busy living a regular life, we have forgotten about life. And we have been in arguments and disagreements with every single country and continent all over the world. And just like we just said, is it time to cancel Christmas? Because we've been doing the single stuff all the time, and stuff now is beginning to jump off. Ukraine,
And
you just said
it
it.
requires, not only is it jumping off, it requires us to have more than just a single, depending on a single person to bring in income, and that's a very important thing because they are disparaging that. I'm telling you, even though we live in a hypergamous society, if you don't know the word hypergamous right now, I'm sorry I can't really give you the definition, but look it up. It's basically, men treating women. It's not really the other way around. It might be a different word for it, but whatever the case may be, I can't spoon feed you. Look up the word hypergamy, hypergamous, and stuff like that. But anyway, man, I believe we talked about it here too as well. This gender war is not going to go well with the real war that's going on in the civilization today. And we're going to learn real quick as Americans too the real price of war soon. And before I go on, let's just go ahead
Yeah,
and
let
pull
me
it up.
get you are not feeling what war is. We keep saying war over there, but because we keep thinking that the United States is tough as we're that defended. We
I'm one
we
of the
really
ones.
do
I'm one of the ones.
believe
I think the
this.
United States is tough, but it's
Let
still
me
war.
explain
Is
something.
still war. War is still war. And I ain't gonna say that,
Let me explain something to you. There's a thing we call divide and conquer.
right. And we talk about that often.
Now watch this. Let me show you something. How you can be defeated. Divide and conquer. Let me show
Let's
you.
let's go ahead and play the video.
Turning overseas today, the Kremlin warned President Biden is adding fuel to the fire by allowing Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles that can strike targets inside Russia. The military calls the missiles ATACMS. One Russian lawmaker today said firing them over the border could lead to World War III. CBS's Holly Williams is in Ukraine tonight.
Ukraine's been using American-supplied ATACMS against Russian forces since last year. Some of the missiles have a range of close to 200 miles. But before now, the US had refused the Ukrainians permission to hit targets inside Russia, concerned about an escalation in the conflict. Colonel Maxim Balagura of Ukraine's state border guard hinted last month about what the Ukrainians could attack with the powerful US weapons.
If the US would allow you to use ATACMS to hit Russia, what difference would that make?
If the Russians don't have any ammunition or any planes, then manpower won't matter, he told us. In recent months, Russian forces have been gaining ground and targeting Ukraine cities with deadly glide bombs, Soviet-era ammunition retrofitted with wings and GPS. Last month, we witnessed the aftermath of a small glide bomb in this residential neighbourhood.
You can see the devastation that it's wreaked. It's literally ripped the front off the building.
And now Russia's military's been bolstered by more than 10,000 North Korean soldiers. They may join an offensive to retake territory in Kursk in southern Russia, where Ukraine launched an audacious incursion in August. In September, Vladimir Putin said that if the US allowed Ukraine to use ATACMS inside his country, it would mean that America and Russia are at war.
Some Ukrainians fear that President-elect Donald Trump could try to pressure their government into negotiating with Russia. If that happens, using the ATACMS now could give Ukraine a better bargaining position. Nora?
That's certainly on the table.
Wow. Be more for real, man. You know we're gonna come to you with the real. You know we're gonna come to you with the real. Rated R for reality.
Be more
for real
for
explosion.
real.
We appreciate all of that. We gonna go ahead and clap that up, man. We just gonna go ahead and clap that up.
This is what you have to understand. You don't pay any attention because you think black men are dumb and ignorant and stupid because we don't read and write as well as others. It's figuring things out that makes leaders. Reading and writing don't make leaders. I don't understand how the world has not figured that out. I don't care how well you read and write. That doesn't make you a leader.
Right, but in terms of this war, right? Let's go ahead and home right
Let's
in.
make leaders. That's why the world is the way it is. These leaders are it. Now watch how we have elected now a president who has now been with Putin. You see he has been talking with Putin the whole time. Now we are now have a president that's helping Ukraine. Now we have a president coming in has been talking to Putin. Do you see how this is going to clash? All with troops from North Korea.
I mean, that's interesting that you say that because that's what I'm gonna say, right? Because there's a different spin on it too. And no, I'm not a Republican. Like I always say, I'm a registered non-affiliate.
And I love how you say that.
I'm a registered non-affiliate, registered, right? And with Biden's last 60 days in office and all this stuff, it's almost like a slap in the face. Like now, you done basically escalated the war to World War III, and this is how you handing the presidency over to President-elect Donald Trump. And that's something to think about. Think about what I just said. So in your last 60 days in office, so we've been trying to keep the war off, right? The war in Russia between Russia and America. We've been trying to keep this war at bay or whatever, trying to keep it off. Even though they've been covertly fighting that, the United States been sending Ukraine aid and all that stuff. Now they actually giving them permission to use these long range missiles and all this other stuff, right? But it's almost like the Democrats, like, oh yeah, you want to take over the House, you want to be president and all this stuff. This is what we gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and make sure when you come to presidency that you're gonna be in war, not only war, a world war. So that's a different spin on it that I would say. And
So that's how you feel?
no, it's just a different perspective on it. Like I was saying, it's not necessarily my views, but that is one of the things. Those are one of the things that I'm thinking as well because I'm like, dang, how could you and you on your way out of office? Like, why would you escalate it there to this point when at this point you out of office? That's messed up.
Right. It's deep. It is deep. I love your opinion on that, but with me, it's to a point where Putin, I think, overstepped his boundaries. I think he's overstepped his boundaries a long time ago. I think we need a president that was tougher a long time ago. This is just how I feel. I think now a lot of these heavyweights are out of control. They hate the United States of America. All of them. I don't even know how to pronounce a lot of them from North Korea, from Putin, from all of them, all the way around. And watch this. They can't stand the United States of America. and and what they do is they're waiting for a chance to attack. And we don't understand when they attack the United States of America, they turn it into what they want to turn it into. And we haven't realized that. United States of America keep thinking we're that tough. You're gonna find out how tough we really are when that war comes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out. But the spin I was saying too, the stick with that was like the whole Democrat and Republican thing. Like um notice now where we at now. You understand what I'm saying? Like this whole Democrat and this whole Republican thing, like whole time Biden and his administration with Kamala Harris, and she said she wasn't gonna do nothing different than what Biden and Harris would do. Excuse me, and what President Biden would do. So I'm like, well, what would really have been done if Harris would have been elected? Will we be in full blown world war? And will we even trust that the first time a woman is in office that she's going to lead us into World War III? Be honest about that. What do you think about that?
But see, it's the difference. Putin trying to take shit. You see him. Ukraine fighting back for their shit. That's the truth.
I mean,
So
I'd be more for
listen
real.
to this.
I disagree.
We had to be.
I disagree.
And be more for real. What Putin want? Don't Putin want
I
Ukraine?
mean, they do want the Ukraine back.
Right,
They want the
and-
whole entire Ukraine.
and they wanted to. So we can't get too deep into it, but you know what they want, and they want to take it and make it, and they're gonna want them to do what they want. But watch this. The problem is United States of America is in it because we're in it deep. Our weapons in it, and we're in it. But watch this. Trump now is now the president of the United States. Him and Putin is a different way than Biden. So what happens now? This is why I say how the war starts. And you see how Trump is. Trump know he's not going to fight. He know our troops are going to fight. You get it? This is when I say we're going to find out how tough we really are. Are you ready for this? How tough are we really are?
How tough we really are. I get it. And so my whole thing is this, and it's crazy because this is how we are divided as a country, and we're gonna sit back. We're gonna blame Democrats and Republicans, kind of sort of like I was just bringing up. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure I bring these attentions to the forefront because. Like we said, this program is made to deprogram you to what you have been programmed to.
Be more
So,
for real.
of course, they're gonna bring. Okay, the Democrats is starting the World War. Is it possibly World War III? The Democrats is and the Biden administration made sure that they were starting World War III.
No,
These
we
are the
try
news lines.
not.
These are the headlines, and sure enough, they're coming out, and
Biden's
that
trying
is.
not. You got to realize they're trying not to. You see
How
them
did they
trying-
not when Biden just signed
Buddy,
into effect that they can use the U.S. missiles when Russia
trying to
already said
save Ukraine.
Russia already said back in September that if the U.S. authorizes the Ukraine to use the U.S. long-range missiles, that they will consider the U.S. as using. They will basically consider U.S. and Russia in war.
Oh, but listen, but you have to understand. But think about this. That's what Russia said because they want to take Ukraine. Now, of course, they want that. Russia thought they could kick Ukraine ass and take it all over. They just didn't realize Ukraine wasn't as easy to take over. Basically, because the United States of America and a few others been helping them. That's really what it was. It wasn't as simple as it is. Now here it is, North Korea up there help. You kind of see how this is really getting ready to is jumping in and,
Right.
and Russia. That's why I'm saying, listen to this. I said it completely as easy as possible as I can. Trump coming in there is going to set the war off. It is. It's going to set a war off. Everybody's trying to get a few extra dollars in their pocket, but Are you ready for what comes with that few extra dollars? It's going to be a war. It really is. In the next few years, I just predicted it's going to be a war with the United States of America.
In the next few years, we talking about already war right now.
I'm
This is what
talking
we're
about
talking
some
about.
real, true war.
This is
Well,
this is
no
what we're talking about
markets,
right now.
no more. Remember the
This is what we're
pandemic
talking about
was a
right now,
thing?
though. I'm talking about. Is it time to cancel Christmas right now? This is what we.
No, no,
Is it? Is it
it may
time
not
to?
be this Christmas, but it's going to be the Christmas.
You said what?
It may not be this Christmas, or it may be the next one. It may be the next one.
It may not be what?
It may not be this Christmas, but it may be the next
Come on, man. I'm
one.
saying
Ah.
it's our, it's our job to relate this to the people.
Will
And
it be a
I guess
2025?
it's difficult to talk about this kind of stuff because there's so many things to pick out of this. And like I said, we're gonna be more for real because first thing they're gonna try to pick is the Democrat thing, and the Republican thing, and then the second thing that's going to be picked at is how the United States and what should be rightfully so. And I'm going to get into this because this is Be More for Real. We have to talk about this, man, because it's very important.
There we
Because the
go.
United States got enough money to fund the Ukraine and all this other stuff. When we got people starving and struggling right here in the streets of the United States, it's going to be a lot of people in America that find a problem with the United States able to fund Ukraine and give them all these resources when you got people in your own backyard.
Funding a whole
And
bunch of
it's
stuff.
going to be a lot of people
Right.
that's going to be like, why didn't you mind your business,
But
America?
that's
That's
the United States
two.
problem.
That's point number two.
They in everything. United States start stuff, hands and everything at the same time. I never understand how they can start a war. I mean, start shit, build a country back up. I mean, I've never seen. Look in the Middle East how they end stuff, blowing the country up, building it back up. I mean, United States of America. I'm telling you, is a mess. You know it. That's why I said, Daniel. By now, we should have been represented by black folks. Really young black men should have represent United States in a whole totally different way.
I mean, at this point, it's really not black or white. It's really
Should be.
it
Should be.
it should be a time. And for that matter too, I want to go
Should
back.
be.
I want to revisit last week too when I was talking about, since you said it, when I was talking about how we had a white woman run for president and a supposed black woman run for president,
It's
and
supposedly black one.
because she's
Well,
not, I'm gonna stick with that. But and neither one of them got office. So don't, like I said, don't try to outthink me. It's likely that a woman will never run a country, but then you look at how there have been 47, 48 presidents in United States history, and only one of them has been semi-black, supposed black too. And so you get what you get out of that too. It's likely that a black man will never lead this country as well. So this is stuff that I'm not saying that um this is what I think and these my emotion. This is just what the numbers suggest. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at the numbers. There's never been a female president, and there's never been a real nigga in office either, apparently. So that's I'm just gonna leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and clap it up. Be more for real. We ain't got no choice but to be for real
coming
though.
from my co-host.
We ain't got no choice but to be more for real about that as well. But let's go ahead and get to this other video as well too, because we got videos for y'all too, and we appreciate all of our viewers, man. Make sure y'all run it up, man. Make sure y'all tell your friends to tell your friends about this.
That's what we do. We'll be more for real all the way through, y'all. Every Wednesday, y'all, we'll be more.
And
for
if you
real.
disagree with the content and all that stuff, you're welcome to on the channel. Oh, hold on, we got several things. We got several things to do before we get to the next video. Let's go to the portal, man. At the portal, man. Just upcoming week, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, I remember y'all said that.
I
Talk to
am
me
your
more.
DJ. I'm on the
Tell us
ones
more.
and twos.
Tell us more,
DJ
Dan.
OG Danny,
Tell us
man. You
more.
already know, man. On 11/23 at the portal from 7 to midnight. This headline by Ref the Almighty. Shout out Skills, man. They putting together DBL, man. Shout out Lou Broogie, Prince Mac, man. Shout out Brandon Deshaun, man. Shout out everybody that's coming out. Y'all already know. Lord Dev coming out. He performing and everything. He opening
That's
up.
what's up. That's what's up.
Also at the portal. Look, that's how. Look, if you guys want to get in there as well, this was going to happen, and we already worked it out with skills. We already worked it out with DBL. If you guys go in there, you guys mention BMore4Real, you gonna get $5 off. If it's $10 right now, it's gonna be $5.
BMore4Real, y'all.
It's gonna be $10. If it's $20 at the door, it's gonna be $15. Y'all just mentioned BMore4Real. Tell them how you found out about live the portal. Mention BMore4Real, man. Y'all gonna get y'all discount, man. Come on,
Y'all
man. Live at the portal. Real
hey,
talk.
listen. How can you forget BMore4Real? You get what I'm saying? And you're going to have the good entertainment. You understand?
BMore4Real. BMore4Real, man.
Yeah, you know we looking forward. You know we gonna represent the heavyweights of the rap game. Y'all know we gonna represent. Let's go ahead and get to this other video though. Let's go ahead. We're not gonna waste no more of you guys' time. Let's go.
CBS News has confirmed that Ukraine has used American-made long-range missiles inside Russia for the very first time. Holly Williams got to Kyiv yesterday and just had to get down into a bunker. So, Holly, first question, are you and the team all right? We want to know that first. And what can you tell us about the missiles?
Good morning, Gail. We're all doing just fine. The air raid alarm went off just a few minutes ago. We've taken shelter in the basement. We are taking this very seriously because the U.S. Embassy here in Kyiv is temporarily closed because of a potential significant air attack. Now, a Ukrainian military official told us earlier today that they have information that Russia could try to strike the center of Kyiv today with ballistic missiles.
Ukraine fired 8 American-made ATACMS into Russia, say US officials. This video appears to show a launch, though we can't verify it. The target was a military facility in the Bryansk region of southern Russia, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. US officials believe the Russians may have shot down 2 of the missiles, powerful weapons with a maximum range of close to 200 miles.
We had to prove that these are legitimate targets and that they're very important to protect our civilian population or our armed forces.
Alexandra Ustinova is a member of Ukraine's parliament who told us she lobbied the US government to allow Ukraine to use the ATACMS deep inside Russia. President Biden only agreed to it 3 days ago, worried it could escalate the conflict. The Kremlin, though, seems to be stoking fears of an escalation. Vladimir Putin approved a change in Russia's nuclear doctrine yesterday, lowering the threshold for a nuclear strike.
He keeps playing and pretending like he's going to do something.
It sounds like you don't take Vladimir Putin's threats too seriously, and you don't think that the West should either.
I've been saying it since day one that he's a bully and he's not going to do that.
The nuclear threat may be a bluff, but Putin's war in Ukraine is very real. In a video message to a congressional hearing yesterday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked America for helping his country in its darkest hour.
Thanks to the incredible support of the United States, millions of Americans united against evil.
Today, Russia accused the Biden administration of trying to prolong the war in Ukraine. Also today, Ukraine says Russia launched over 120 drones and 6 missiles overnight. Gail.
Well, BMore4Real, man. We're gonna go ahead and clap that up, man, because you know it's the realest content ever.
100 miles an hour.
That's the realest content ever, and that is why the question is posed. Is it time to cancel Christmas? And it's not how people would think, but it should be something to think about as well. It's also important because look, while we up here, and the United States government is not going to tell us this, so it's up to people like you and I that control our own media. By the way, this is why we have our own media. If it's your first time listening, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. But it's our job while we have this media to inform the people and to bring the people the news as soon as we get it as well. So with that being said, it's a time to cancel Christmas. And how close would you think, if war is imminent, if they doing all this stuff, how soon would you say it's time to cancel all the holidays and stuff and really prepare for other things to happen? How soon would you say, Uncle Wayne? That's an actual question.
Well,
how soon?
You know
how
what
soon?
I mean?
How soon?
I guess we're a reality check. You know, a reality check. When you realize enough is enough and it's about to happen, I think families need to get together and prepare. Period.
And that's what I was talking about. The reason why we need to have families, because this is how we overcome in a lot of these situations. Even if a lot of the catastrophes are gone, this is how we overcome a lot of those things is by family. And so the enemy knows that. The enemy knows such a time is coming.
Absolutely.
Such has never been seen before on the face of this earth, and such a time has already been spoken of and has already been written of, and we know that such a time is coming, and so the way that we overcome this is family. So while we doing all this beefing, while we doing all this gender war stuff, we need to realize there's other real going on. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's way more real stuff going on. And to be honest with you too, a lot of the times I'm thinking like, what we really trust the leadership of Kamala Harris in office right now. Um, Given the situation of the pending threats of World War III and nuclear action by Russia. Now that's the real question.
See that's the situation.
That's the real question. I really want to know if you. I mean, if you really do, um, um, if you really would feel comfortable and safe under the leadership of such a president as Vice President Kamala Harris, as
I don't think
leader
people
and
tell their true
commander in chief.
feelings. Honestly, now that you bring the situation up, people don't tell their true feelings.
Right.
They don't want to tell it.
Right.
Because I don't think they believe it. They don't. Because when
That's a
I
serious
think
question,
about
though.
it,
I'm
right,
asking.
I
That's
don't.
serious.
And I think about a lot of times. And it's a tough one to think about because situations like that are deep, and there are some tough situations to think about. Think about that situation now.
I want y'all to comment that though.
You know,
If you hear that question, I want you to comment that. It don't matter how you voted. The question still remains:
Yeah.
if Vice President Kamala Harris was elected president, and such acts that has been put on the precipice right now, such acts as the Ukraine using United States missile, and we right on the edge of World War III, a full blown war between the United States and Russia, would you trust the leadership of a president such as Kamala Harris?
That's a tough one. Like, let's say, for example, if it's a nuclear war, and if you had to push that button to kill a whole bunch of people, if that decision have to be done, do you understand? Can she do that one? But look at the same thing. I wouldn't trust Donald Trump either, though. Seriously,
And I'm not saying you would trust him either,
isn't that crazy?
but who would you trust more in that
I wouldn't trust
situation?
and it's crazy, but I wouldn't
Two of
trust
the lesser evils. And that's why I posed the question, because we have to be more for real. We honestly have to be
But
more
that's
for
a
real.
powerful question to think, because that is the. But we have to get those questions from our leader, because those the type of questions we need from the leader of the most powerful in this country, right?
Now I would say this, and my beliefs, I would say that whoever we elected, I don't care if it's a donkey, a dog, a woman, or female, or even a child. If this person has the best interest and this is who we elected to represent us, then we are confident in the decision of those that we put in to elect us. But see, my thing is that we don't have anybody like that because we don't have that power, and so I want to keep on drilling it home too as well. Like Oakland, they just got rid of their mayor and revoked that mayor of Asian descent. I forget her name, but anyway, um, you know, like I was saying, that politics without economics is like symbolism without substance. And so that's important and that's key. And it's not just saying something just so it sounds fancy or it sounds good. We have to get this down pat, especially as black people in America. There's nothing wrong with us doing stuff for us and for our communities because we are losing our communities by the droves. Our communities are constantly being turned into projects and into hoods and all of that other stuff. But this is the reason why we having a platform. And this is the reason why we are really organizing some things that happen. First of all, while Trump is in office, I know. Look, if the war ain't happening before the war happened or whatever, he needs to pardon Mosby. Seriously, I mean, and that's a serious thing. and
I love how you say that.
I'm
You
going
see
to
how he
stand on that.
brings that up,
I'm
and
going
that
to
is
stand on that. I'm going
that
to
has some
continue to bring that
value.
to, and it doesn't not matter if you're a Baltimore City resident or not. You can still sign a petition for Mosby to be pardoned and for those charges for her to be dropped and all that stuff because it's inexcusable the way that law system works. If that's the way that justice works, we don't want it. We don't want that type of justice out here. That is not justice. It's cruel. It's unusual punishment. And I think at least President Trump should know something about it because he was about to be sentenced. What in the next 30 days or so? He no, they got they're going to postpone it. Trump is not going to jail because he's in office. He's not. He's not. At least they're gonna have to wait until after his presidency. Legally, they're gonna have to wait.
He already said his state's turn to look at all that to get rid of.
Yeah, legally. I mean, however you want to slice it, I can guarantee you, Trump is not going to jail. I can guarantee you that.
One that he can't.
At least not while he's in office right now. They not. There's no way they're gonna say, "Well, Trump, you got to step down from office for a year and a half to go to jail." No, they are not doing that.
That's part of that.
See, things sound good until you put it in practicality. Trump is not going to jail. And I'm telling do y'all hear me? You see my face when I said Trump is not going to jail. And it's a fact. And if he do, he's going to jail after he finishes his term. I'm telling you. And that's a fact. That's just a fact. It's something about knowing when you know what you know when you know what you know.
Not only is he going to jail, he is breaking it all down. He's getting revenge from all the ones, and then with that money, remember that money from that he has to pay that civil case. He all the people that were set up, he had to pay the money. He going revenge on all of them.
Right.
I've never seen nothing like this in my entire life. I'm sitting back watching this. This is the best live movie I've ever seen in my life. This is going to be great.
But as I digress though too, you know what I'm saying? It's very important for us. And look, when we gonna organize this stuff, listen, if you listening, especially if you're gonna be BMore4Real, look, share this, especially share this part. Bookmark this point in the video where I'm telling you this, where we are going to fight for Marilyn Mosby. I don't care if she's on a box in jail or whatever. Let's get Trump attention and say, hey, let's look at this. You know, they were trying to do the same thing to you. We can bring this to his attention. Like, how could he not acknowledge that at this point? At this point, the election results is what it is. We cannot change that, okay? What we can change is some stuff that we do have the power to change. And like I said, Marilyn Mosby is is absolutely one of those things that should be changed.
And you hear that, y'all? That's what we need to do to be blessed. But you know what the sad part about it, Daniel, I want to say? I got a feeling it is not going to matter in a while because we're going to be in a straight up war.
Right. And this is the distraction of entertainment. That's why I was saying before the war. That's exactly what I said before the war, before all this stuff. Give Marilyn Mosby the grace that she needs, and let us get our house in order as black people too. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been attacked on all different type of ways and all that stuff. And then we want to have a political say so. We want to have a socio-economical say so, and all this other stuff. We have to look at this stuff for what it is and deal with it for what it is. Be more for real. We're gonna have that conversation.
Be more for real.
This is be more for real. We're gonna have that conversation, and it's imperative. It's more than imperative. Matter of fact, we're gonna keep on drilling at home because what they want y'all to do is be distracted. They want y'all to keep on looking at what's going on in the world. That's why they got the P. Diddy case and all that other stuff too. We so worried about Diddy and all this stuff. We ain't worried about what's going on with them passing these laws and letting them use these missiles and kicking on World War III and inflation and what is that
keep
looking
y'all
like?
Not paying attention. You know what I mean? Y'all better pay attention.
We're not worried about how we want to keep on making political demands and all this stuff without socio-economical contributions that we can viably put up for, not knowing that our contribution to society, especially as black people, what we are spending just inside of America alone, is great in this economy and it's absolutely needed. We need group economics. This is something that we really need. And the only way to get to these group economics is to get back to family. Forget what they telling you, forget what they conditioning you to be like and all that stuff. You really need family. See, in family, your flaws can be exposed. The thing is, you can't have a lot of fatal flaws. Some of us do have fatal flaws. Like when you go way out of there. Some flaws are fatal with the kids and all this other stuff,
But
and
that's
some
okay.
flaws are fatal.
Yeah, but it's
But it's not
okay.
okay. I think those.
It's
I
no.
I
With
think
fam, listen,
some things
that's the
are fatal,
difference
like
where
they
we
say,
go.
fatal
Listen,
flaws. But for the most
but
part,
no,
a lot of our
for
flaws,
me, it's
aren't fatal.
listen. But that's where you and I disagree. Listen, with family, it's okay to fail in the family because
Right,
that's how you grow.
right.
But when you fail out there, people step all on you, talk about you, throw you around, and you don't get nowhere.
Well,
But
that's what I was talking about.
yeah,
I agree with
right,
you on that. I'm
right.
not disagreeing with you on that.
But when
I
you
was
in
just
that
saying, if you know,
right
you know. Some flaws are fatal though, but
out there, right,
a lot of people don't have fatal flaws, and a lot of flaws that you would think is fatal is not fatal in the family. It's fatal, like you're saying,
right,
out there in the
yeah,
streets.
out there in
And
the
so, yeah,
streets,
we
right,
agree. So
yeah.
I agree with you on that. A lot of our flaws aren't fatal with family, but they're fatal. But nowadays, the flaws are fatal, and we willing to cut each other off. And that's what I was saying about family, which is why it's urgent and it's pressing. It's a uber pressing need that we need family.
Yes.
Is I can't
Family.
drill it home enough because what's happening is this music and this entertainment and these movies and stuff, they are hypnotizing us.
Ooh, and
People
take
don't
us away
like when
from
I
family.
use that word
Yes.
strategically. We are being hypnotized and all this stuff. We are being conditioned. We are being programmed to think our thoughts and all this stuff. And we would like to think that these thoughts are our own. We would like to think that these actions are our own when indeed they are not. And we have been conditioned and programmed to have these thoughts because when you just think about it, just 10 years ago, just 20 years ago, and all this stuff, we didn't have these thoughts. We didn't have all this stuff that's going on now. That's what predictive programming is about. And that's what our program is made to decombat. And so, even though a lot of things that we may talk about in that we may say it may sound crazy or it may sound it may rub you the wrong way. Still, like, share, and subscribe because you don't need that confirmation bias. We rolling around here with confirmation bias. Look at the show. Look at the show. We told you what confirmation bias is. Get that out your head. We are being hypnotized. I would just say another word for confirmation bias is you're being hypnotized. You are in some type of trance. You are being hoodwinked, bamboozled, whatever you want to call it. It is that. And I want to say this too because I like watching the movie with my girl too. She like watching it with me too. From There's a movie called From.
From
Yeah, it's a TV series called From. And if you know, you know. And on this TV series, it's like a place where people go and don't nobody really know about it until you in this place. And people really, it's a physical place, but it's not a place. But it's designed. It's a place that's designed for these people to go. And there's two things about this. It's like humans already know that people that this world is designed because a lot of stuff that we go through, we actually make the bed that we lay in. Which is why we need to take accountability and responsibility for what we go through. Because life is like 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. But then on the flip side of it too, we know that life has been engineered and architect. Like life happens for a reason and for a purpose. And so this is the reason why um, this is why people give up, and this is why people try to unalive themselves, and they have all these issues in the world is because they don't know their purpose in life, and they don't think that they have a purpose. And a lot of times things happen for a purpose. So when you're stuck in this place, like from wherever that place is, when you're stuck in this place and you feel like you can't get out of it, that's because you don't know your purpose and the part that you play in it. And so that's the reason why. That's the reason why family and all this stuff is important, and that's the reason why you should believe in the Most High. I don't really trust people that don't have morals. When you don't believe in
you're
a
rolling.
higher power and all that other stuff, when you don't have morals, it makes it hard for you to have structure because it's nothing really that you would not do. What's stopping you from doing what you would not do? And so when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, and even in Freemasonry, I'm gonna get it down to when people in the Freemasonry and the occultic languages and all that stuff, they say the grand architect. Even though the grand architect, I got a problem with that. No, it's not God and all this other stuff. God, all saying I look, I can ramble on and on. But as I die, as all right, so I'm gonna go. That's not the all seeing eye. See, look, even in the Bible, it say Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. This all seeing eye stuff. Everybody in the world, the whole languages in the world lead up to this one all seeing eye. And when you think that you're worshiping God and all that stuff, whatever with that all seeing eye, you're not. you've been fooled, you've been bamboozled too, because Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, which would suggest he has more than one eye. And we made an image and likeness of God and all this other stuff. So God looks like us. He would have to look like us at some degree. We are made an image and likeness of Him. We have a shadow image in some degree. Anyway, as I digress, um, they call him the grand architect. Even though I disagree with who they believe the grand architect is and all this other stuff, I would still say that life is strategically has been created and fashioned the way it is, kind of sort of like from that special place or that place where they was at. And a lot of times we find ourselves in this place, and we would give up. We would give up in that place on earth because we find it hard to live. But life is gonna beat us down. And it's not about, like Rocky said, about how hard we get beat, but it's about what we able to do. When we find our purpose in life, it makes it a lot easier to move on about it. So when we get into the wars and the gender wars and all that stuff, this is the enemy's way of hypnotizing us and keeping us distracted from what's really going on. Because as long as he can keep us worrying about the man and the woman and the child and what's going on with Beyonce and what's going on with President Trump and the election, he gonna distract us from what's really going on. I think it was last show I said it or whatever the case may be. My mother used to say, but it's in the Bible too. Be careful with people that flatter you with their tongue, because while they flatter you with their tongue, they prepare a net for your feet. It's the same type of thing. It's the entertainment. It looks so sweet. It sounds so sweet. You get so caught up into it, but they preparing a net for everybody's feet, and everybody gonna get caught up into it. This is the being caught up. Is it time to cancel Christmas? Is it time to get serious? Are they really going to war? Do we really got our politicians in there? Because we can't even trust what they're saying no more and all that stuff. It's a lot of stuff to think about. It's a lot of stuff to it'll make you go crazy and it'll make you stressed. But this is stuff that needs to be talked about. Stuff that needs to be said. Do we really need the curriculum that they're trying to force on our kids and all this stuff? Why can't we say nothing about this? Why can't we do anything about this? What can be done about this? I'm kind of past that point now, and I'm just putting the information out there and putting solutions out there, and that's what we're doing. Putting the information out there and putting solutions out there. First of all, Trump is in office and all this stuff. We might go to war and all that stuff. All right, cool. What they doing with Marilyn Mosby? Let's figure that out first. What they doing with Marilyn Mosby? Let's not forget that, because the media, they gonna all distract you, and there's gonna be another Marilyn Mosby before we know it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be another one before we know it. They're gonna do the same again. Then they're gonna expect, because they expect us not to do nothing about that. So I need it to be drilled home and brought home that we need to do something about that as soon as possible. We need to voice. We need to flip over cars. I don't care what we need to do. We need to do something about Mosby, and we need to do something ASAP and bring that to Trump attention. I know everything is a pressing issue in America and all that stuff. He the president, but look, this is something that it's right up your alley, my nigga. Excuse my language, but it's right up your alley. Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. Seriously.
That's what I'm talking about. See, now is the purpose. You see how you did that? Now there's a purpose. And I like how you did it. You brought it on that third show 3 weeks ago, and you're right. Then there's a purpose to push something. And you're right. We sit back and wait, and you're right. But just like I said, if there's a war, well, Moses may not matter right about that. And I got a strange feeling, sir. There's going to be a war.
Hey, look, and we ain't even gonna clap that up. We gonna go ahead. We gotta play some sad music or something, man. We gotta do
for the war, right? You can't applaud for the war, but see, Dang, that's what I'm saying. It is because we have started shit so much everywhere all over the continent. We have, and everybody is jumping. And here comes Donald Trump again.
And this time we got social media. And what was crazy was the last time they killed Dr. Martin Luther King. And so look, let's be more for real. And I want people to really notice this and really look. I'm the one that's gonna say something, because these people, they be faking and frauding. They gonna lie on you, right? Don't lie on me, and I won't tell the truth about you, right? So while America's sitting up there lying to the people and deceiving the people, I'm going to sit there and tell the people the truth, right?
Go for it.
Martin Luther King was a communist, right? Now we live in a capitalist society and things like that. A lot of people didn't know that Martin Luther King, number one, his real name, his born name was not Martin Luther King. His born name was Michael King.
Oh, His real name was
His
Michael.
born name was Michael.
That I
His
did.
born name was Michael King. And when his father went to Germany or something, he changed his name to Martin Luther, based off of the teachings of Martin Luther from the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century. True facts. Real name was Michael King. His born name, but his legal name was Martin Luther. His name was changed to Martin Luther. Anyway, um,
See? Didn't know.
and Martin Luther King was a communist, and he was not killed because of his racial views on equality. Martin Luther King was killed based off of his views on the United States going to war with Vietnam. Now, listen to me and listen to me carefully and what I'm saying, and don't try to outthink me. Just listen to what I'm saying. Martin Luther King was killed by the government, and they did pay his family. This is public records. We all know this. He was killed because of his viewpoint on the Vietnam War. Because Martin Luther King, like I was saying earlier, we giving all these resources to Ukraine and all this stuff. We got a bunch of communities. We got a bunch of homeless people. Matter of fact, as much money as they spent and gave to Ukraine, we could have solved homelessness in America. We got homeless veterans, for God's sake. People that have fought and for this country and lost limbs and mentalities and all that stuff. And you focus on giving money to another country, it's people that's going to think that those type of acts are putrid. It's sacrilegious against your own people in your country, and we should feel rightfully so about that. It should be no starvation and all that stuff when you got these millions and you can contribute all these weapons to these other countries and look like a global superpower. Like, where's the superpower when there's people sitting up there dying by the White House from starvation? That's not cool. That's not kosher. But as I digress, Martin Luther King was killed for his stance on the Vietnam War, much like how people are going to start deciding what they think about the United States going to war with Russia. And the United States, like I said, they're gonna put out this propaganda with these videos and all this other stuff with the media to persuade the media how bad Russia is. And then those people that come against the United States that say United States is wrong, they should have let Russia and Ukraine duke it out, and whoever won the loss, it'd have been what it was with them. Why we got to be involved with that when we got poverty, when we got war on the streets and all this other stuff in our own country? Why are we involved with that? And then spending millions and dollars of that. And then you mean to tell us that you only got $750 for hurricane relief people? That's fucked up, yo. That's messed up, yo. That is, I mean, like on a logical sense, like how dare you? Like that's a spit in the face. That's a spit in the face.
That's an interesting
And we're
one.
gonna have to talk about that and see when we can't talk about that stuff. That's when we gonna be silent. I forgot who it was. They said our lives begin to end the day we become silent about those things that matter. I'm gonna repeat that again. He or she said our lives begin to end the day we become silent about those things that matter. Because you want to know why? Because people will be willfully ignorant, and people in the blind lead the blind, and eventually they'll all fall into a ditch. It's the same thing that we've all heard. And this is where we are at in society. We can't trust the politicians. We can't trust the news. We can't trust the media. We've been persuaded all these different ways. Even what we've seen in CBS and all that other stuff. All that stuff has been made in a way to provoke feelings and emotions and get emotions out of us. Look, we no longer going to be emotional and all this stuff about this. We're going to be now. It's time to carry the spirit of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all this stuff. Uh, uh, Forget what you got going in the Vietnam War. What are you doing about the black people that's really in the war and all this other stuff? What are you doing for our people that's in these communities that's helping America thrive and all this stuff? What are you doing about that? Let's start with that. Let's really start with that. And it's time. I mean, it's BMore4Real. It's the realest conversations on the net. It's brought to you by way of real
The
exposure.
realest.
I'm telling you,
Remember
rated
that
R
now.
for reality. You're gonna have to get this weekly dose of reality, and we gonna come at everything. We're gonna talk about everything from every angle, from the sports to the politics to everyday living, to gender war, and all that stuff. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. And if you've been listening this far,
y'all.
if you've been listening this far, definitely make sure you hit the like button. Just take 1 second out and hit that like button real
and then
quick.
Comments, y'all. We like the comments, whether you agree or not. We like the back and forth, y'all. remember, it's always we
Right.
got to learn how to agree to disagree.
Spam them comments for sure. Spam them comments for sure. But that was basically my take on it, and that's why I was saying it's a time to cancel Christmas. So what do you think? Is it time to cancel Christmas?
That's why I say I kind of like how you said that, because if you start to, have the conversation and you start to, really, like you said, digress, break it down and, bring it out. But I think the family need to have that conversation. You know, the family has, and then the family going to have different opinions and bring the family in. And then, because really, the deep part about it is the family ain't going to be all on one side.
For
Ain't
sure.
all Democrat and ain't all Republican, like we just talked about. And then bring the family in with their own opinion. This is where we get stuck on too when I have this problem. We keep saying that we can understand, but most of us get upset with our own family members when they got their own opinion. I'm serious. That's how we get it on. Let's say with the family, even if the significant other, if the husband and wife, that's how we get upset at the first beginning, because we never discussed that. Because when we end a relationship, the husband and wife, they usually, you expect the husband and wife to be Democrat or Republican. And a lot of times it's not that way. Isn't it strange when a husband and wife, a Democrat or a Republican, you expect for them both
That
to be
is
the
strange.
same thing?
And a lot of people marriages probably was in jeopardy over this election, like we were talking about as well.
It
Because not
was.
only was it Democrat Republican, it was male versus female. It was woman versus man.
But why
And
was it so strong this time,
and
though?
supposed black versus white. So it was plenty angles that they could have broke it down. Oh, you a misogynist, racist.
Remember they was
You know what
doing,
I'm
we were
saying?
talking about that.
Yeah.
And then this
That's what
was
I'm
it.
saying.
Remember what
That's
they
what I'm
were
saying.
bringing, the entertainment they were
Right.
bringing out with it?
Right. And that's what I was saying. And all this stuff is a distraction, because at the end of the day, the family, when they come downtown, guess what? When they come downtown for danger, then all of a sudden people know how to get in line. What, we shaking, kids shaking, and the husband shaking too, but he like, God damn it, I gotta go find out what's going on with my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, that's what it is though, because the universe and reality got a weird way of smacking you and checking you and getting you in line, because that's the only way you survive. That's why I don't agree with evolution, but I do agree with the concept that only the fittest survive, because the weak people always fall out. They always give up. They give up. That's a true statement. The only the strongest survive. And so, with that being said, I do want to tell the people too, if you're going through something and everything like that, a lot of times, God gives his battles, his strongest battles, to his stronger soldiers.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
To his
Sometimes
strongest.
he gives his strongest battles to his strongest
To
soldiers.
his
And
strongest,
the reason why
y'all.
you're here
Be
is just
blessed on that one.
the reason why you're here is because you can overcome. You can, and I did hear this from Steve Harvey, although I don't agree with everything he said. But like I said, I can agree with this. He said that you can't name not one thing that the Most High ain't get you through. You can't name not one thing that y'all ain't get you through. Not never, because
I like
you
that.
sitting here today, you watching this today, you under our voice today. You cannot name not one thing, because you made it through it right now. And if you ain't been through it, he currently bringing you through it
Hey,
right now. So
there
I
we
mean,
go. You remember that. It's
just remember that.
nothing that y'all ain't bring you through. You
This
know it.
this news to get depressing and all that other stuff, but don't fold under the pressure, because under pressure, what happens is, if you were staying the test of time, you come out a diamond. See, diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is made under pressure.
Yes.
There's nothing that's of value that's not made under pressure.
Yes.
Even plants, when you plant them in the ground, they made under the pressure of the dirt, and they have to rise up. They have to rise up through the adversity, through the dirt and everything, in order to become a beautiful flower and plant. So everything that's worth working for and all that stuff is going to be worth the fight. And so we always have that fight. But we just have to know when and how to fight. You know what I'm saying? We can have that fight in us and not know how to fight and still lose the battle, because knowing is half the battle. Let's get this wisdom. Let's get this knowledge. Let's get together and figure out how we can do these things. And like I said, the first thing that we are concerned about is Marilyn Mosby, and we're gonna this next group that we're gonna create is really gonna be a political influential group as well, and a social influential group, because what we are doing is we are totally changing the way people think and the way people we handle politics and all that other stuff. We don't care about no traditional approaches. The only thing we worried about is getting the right people in the right places that represent us and our interests. And so, with that being said, you can join us. We're gonna let y'all get. We're gonna give y'all more details on that as well too. But this is
That's
Be
what's
More
up.
for Real,
That's
man.
definitely what's up.
This
You
Be More
did
for
that one.
Real. We're
You
gonna
got that all the
Mosby.
way through, dang.
We
You know
shooting
what
for
I mean?
Mosby, and we trying to put y'all on game about this war, like we were talking about with the bridge too. Notice how prices did go up as well too, and
Let's
prices
start.
kind of
I'm glad you brought that up. So
the bridge
let's
collapse.
go right here about the bridge. I call myself, and you notice I say the bridge. I don't even give
Right.
a name.
Right.
Because if y'all young black men don't grab this now, the bridge is simple. You know, all right, let's get this. There, for once, that $20 bill, who they try to get on that $20 bill?
Harriet Tubman.
Right. Now, think about the bridge. Who really tried to bring if anyone that you think that that really thought about the tradition, Harriet Tubman, she really was when they called her, they said the which a lot of people
The
didn't
underground.
get, railroad, right?
Right.
Now let's make more sense. She was the bridge that came through. If ever someone need to be named, that bridge should be named her.
That Harriet Tubman
Get
bridge.
it?
I like that. I love that idea. I love
She
that idea.
was
I love
the
that idea.
bridge
We're gonna go
that
ahead and clap that up.
You
Actually,
get what I'm saying?
we're gonna
Think
go ahead and
about
clap that up.
You know, and ready for this, I'm gonna top it off even more. The work and the money that can pay for workers. Remember I said contract workers?
Right.
The bare minimum is 10 years.
Right.
You see what I mean?
And that needs to be said too. And I know you've been mayor, so we need to stress that point that money for the bridge, a lot of that money needs to be resurfaced or rebrung back into the city of Baltimore, not put out there into them outside contractors. We need to find a way for that money to
There you go.
As much money that can be kept in the city of
Look at
Baltimore.
that. Look at
it
it.
should be kept in the city of Baltimore.
There you go. That's what I love. Look at it.
That's a true fact. That's a true
love
fact.
how you look like
we should
that.
find out
See?
how much money. I mean, we can't do everything, but we can do enough to get enough of that piece of pie.
There you
go. Rebuild our communities and all that. It's enough of that money to go around. And it's enough jobs and people that can help.
It should be the name and have a lot of those workers and should be done. And the thing about it, why I said that trade school should have been training the ones to get ready, because by the time they work on it, we should have been 2025, right?
Right.
To turn out the workers, the welders, the all that from that school. And the school is sitting downtown to be ready to train the workers for the school.
And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this immediately, man. We're gonna get everybody, and we're gonna notify the people about this stuff. I know a lot of people don't have time to research this, and this is why we're here, so we can bring this stuff to you guys.
There you go.
But only thing we need is y'all participation at this point. When we say, look, this is what we got going on. This is what's happening with the votes. Only thing y'all need to do is just get in line and be like, yeah, because we know these people got our best interest. So that way we can get the Tory Roses in office, we can get the Uncle Waynes, and we can get the Wendells, and we can get everybody that we need to get in office. Hey,
look, I don't want to get in office. I ran.
He said, I
don't want to get in office. My thing is to get them contract workers. So imagine all those thousands and thousands of jobs. It will get them, and you don't have to worry about your background. They wouldn't even matter. But it's time to get those well-paying jobs. At least these are 10-year straight up contract job.
We part of the younger generation, and the younger generation, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for the younger generation. And I
There
can tell
we
you,
go.
I can tell you for sure we don't believe in the politicians, and I just think that we can do much more for our communities than we can do for the politicians.
There you go.
I'm not adverse to getting our politicians in there. We still got to get our people in there. We still going to need doctors, lawyers, and all that stuff on the practical side, because if we just had everybody that was working against us in those type of places and we just gave up, then the numbers will really be against us. So we got to be smart about the way we move. But this is BMore4Real, man. A real conversation on that. Real explosion. Bring out for reality, man. I am your co-host, OMG Danny.
I am Uncle Wayne,
Keep
y'all.
every single Wednesday, yo. You know we got you covered, man.
Be blessed.
BMore4Real.
Y'all. I love y'all and be blessed, y'all.